And he now tells us more.
The same survey also revealed that 53% of the country's population are graded as second-hand smokers. The fruits of this 4-day workshop, it brought together deputy permanent secretaries from various ministries, officials of the World Health Organization, the Center for Tobacco Control in Africa, and non-governmental organizations may help to bring down these figures.
It is important that you understand the food provisions of the framework, you translate it into country action. And I'm very confident, given the composition of this committee, that Gambia is going to be the icon on the African continent of tobacco control.
It will also pave the way in ensuring a tobacco-free Gambia by the end of next year through the creation of a comprehensive national tobacco control strategy. Mamadou Ndiaye, the Director of Health Promotions, is also the chairperson of the National Tobacco Control. It still remains one of the cheapest stock in many Gambian shops. Reporting for Grts News, I am Famarakai.
The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, has convened national statisticians to share the results of the 2013 base year on the country's GDP. Well, we have details of that in this report. GDP is the total value of goods produced and services provided in a country during a particular year. The importance of the rebasing is to update the structure and performance of an economy. The system of national accounts, which is the framework that describes the economy and measures its development, recommends changing the base year every 5 years or less in order to provide detailed information about the economy.
The objective of this exercise is to provide up-to-date GDP estimates in terms of improved coverage of emerging economic activities and methodologies in line with international standards.
The program is funded by the World Bank and the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Aminata Dean is the principal statistician and head of national accounts at the Gambia Bureau of Statistics.
The National Accounts Unit of the Bureau is the core unit of the Economic Statistics Directorate and is mandated to collect, compile, and analyze data on all branches of economic activities to produce annual GDP for the Gambia.
As has been mentioned, this provided us with the opportunity to align with the new international standards, the SNA 2008 and the Isaac Rev 4. The Isaac Rev 4 is probably one of the biggest impacts in this revision for the Gambia.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Lamin Kamara, whose ministry are the funding partners of the program, hails the Gambia Bureau of Statistics for the initiative, saying it is timely for the basing of the gross domestic product.
But as we are rebasing, we are seeing these dynamics changing in terms of contribution to GDP. And now, agriculture is still hovering around 28% from this rebasing. We are also seeing service sector around 60% and industry around 14–15%. So by and large, from the supply side, we are seeing the structure in that dimension. And this is good for policy making.
Ali Mujalo and Mohamed Bitey of the Gambia Bureau of Statistics highlighted the approach used in gathering data, the challenges and the way forward. This is the third rebasing of the Gambia's GDP since 1977. This document, when distributed, will help policymakers and planners devise effective policy formulations for national development. For the news, I am Fatu Janimbai. Bye. Now, a day-long forum bringing together Islamic scholars and religious leaders on common religious constants and their impact on the spread of a culture of peace was held earlier today as part of the inauguration of King Mohammed Foundation for African Ulamas in the Gambia. Fatih Ali Kamoloshi was there and she files in this report.
King Mohammed VI Foundation is taking root in the Gambia after the inauguration of the body. This move is spearheaded by the Moroccan delegation in the Gambia and is set to open a new branch of the King Mohammed VI Foundation for African Ulamas in the Gambia. This initiative seeks to promote Islamic doctrine and way of life, which is essential for a united Ummah. Honorable Dr. Atika and Dr. Abdul Raza are both members of the Moroccan initiative and alluded to the importance of such an initiative in Africa at a time they say the world is experiencing an increase in extremist views across the world. Thus, there is a need to unite as one and teach one another the essentials of the religion and the sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, which calls for unity, harmony, and peaceful coexistence amongst people. The program was attended by religious leaders and government officials. Amongst them is the advisor to the President and Head of Religious Affairs, Honorable Dembo Bojang. He called on all relevant stakeholders to support the religious leaders, especially the imams, to uplift their economic status.
The imams in the Gambia, even government is thinking how best we could help them so that they can feed their families. But if you inherit a broken economy, we know we cannot do that right now. But we are thinking of their problems. I think this foundation will take care of that also and put that also in their minds.
The President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Sheikh Mohammed Lamin Toure, and Imam Ratib of Banjul both expressed their gratitude to the King of Morocco for such timely initiative which will foster unity and growth in the Islamic Ummah and increase the knowledge of the people about what the religion entails. Various speakers also expressed their gratitude and are hoping that by the end of the two-day seminar on common religious constants and their impact on the spread of a culture of peace and moderation, the ulamas will be well equipped with the Islamic doctrines and various ways they can confront common enemies in the form of revising and correcting the true picture of Islam, while propagating and reviving the teachings of the Holy Quran and teachings of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. For Grts News, I am Fatih Kamloshi.
And now moving on, the former Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services Grts, Ibrahim Silla, finally bade farewell to his former employer as he prepares to take up his new portfolio as Minister of Information, Communications and Infrastructure. The former boss of the state broadcaster used the emotional moment to thank the member of staff for their support. Walaba Ibrahim Cham picks up the rest of that story.
An emotional gathering as staff of GRTS bid farewell to the former Director General Ibrahim Silla as he prepares for his new elevation to the post of Information Minister. Managers of the institute spoke about how Mr. Silla championed and pioneered unprecedented reforms in setting high standards and improving the welfare of the staff. Human Resource Manager Yankuba Jata spoke on the impact DG Silla made on the programs department and the newsroom.
Among the areas that he really made impact was our programs department. We all know how we were before. But today, our audience, if we are to carry out an audience research, you will know that we've moved from 65 to 85% because of DG Silla.
The Deputy Director General of Programs mentioned that this was the first time a Director General of GRTS has been elevated to a minister, and that he has already laid the foundation for great things ahead.
There's a transformation agenda he has been championing, and that is going to open the floodgates for GRTS. We are going to see improvements, a massive improvement in a lot of areas in years and months to come. And all that groundwork has been laid by Mr. Silla.
Mr. Silla said his 17 months at GRTS had seen huge improvements in transforming the national broadcaster.
The biggest transformation that has happened in this country since 2017 is GRTS.
Every home that you go to in this country now watches GRTS. In the last 3 months alone, in the first quarter, we were able to net more than $8 million of TV revenue. And know that this institution, if it progresses, we all progress. If it fails, we all fail. So, I mean, that choice is yours. From now on, as I have always been saying, you have to see this institution as yours. When this institution progresses, you will all progress. That is why we have been able to, increase everyone's take home here by 100%.
Finally, staff spoke on how Mr. Silla transformed their lives and praised his pragmatic working ethics.
You were talking about your 17 months in GRTS. We would have loved you spent 17 years here.
Just to tell you that the impact you've had in our life, and you can have an impact in every other person's life, but the impact you have in the lives of the youngest people lives forever.
Thank you. The job you started, young ones like us, we will continue where you want it to be.
Ibrahim Silla has done his part. Everybody has said it here. But each and every one of you seated here has a stake in the next level this institution is going to move on.
As staff await for a new Director General, the legacy of Mr. Silla will forever be remembered. For GRTS News, I'm Ibrahim Chan.
Such an emotional moment there yesterday. Well, congratulations to Ibrahim Silla as we await the new Director General of GRTS. And now moving on, a periodic cleansing exercise by the communities of Banjul took place on Saturday. Organized by the Banjul City Council, the cleansing exercise was aimed at creating and maintaining a healthy, hygienic and litter-free environment. Janke Ture reports.
This is Banjul, the capital city of the Gambia and one of the oldest settlements in the country. But the island city is faced with challenges of waste management. However, the new city council leadership have promised to tackle some of the issues confronting the development of the capital city. It is against this backdrop that officials at the Banjul City Council Saturday embarked on a massive cleansing exercise in the island city. The participants during the exercise managed to clean and remove waste from the drainage and as well excavate litter dumped in the drains in order to mitigate potential threats of flash floods.
We are going through a transition because without no doubt we all realize the challenges that Banjul is facing in terms of waste management and environmental sanitation.
People have been littering indiscriminately. People have not been responsible in the way they litter. Because if you see to the various hotspot areas that we've visited so far, we've seen people who have been littering in the drains, which has health-related issues. If we allow the drains to be filled up with waste, that tells us that we are not individually responsible.
More than 150 security personnel from different security units took part during the cleaning exercise.
This is a national issue, and cities has to be clean. Gambia has to be kept clean always, especially the city Banjul itself.
Residents at Grand Street expressed dissatisfaction about the indiscriminate littering in the streets and drains. They called for attitudinal change towards our environment.
As we can all see, Banjul is so dirty, and a healthy nation is a healthy environment. Without being clean, we cannot go. And Banjul, even we spend 5 years cleaning Banjul, Banjul will never be clean unless people change their habit.
What I will do, me personally, being an elderly person of this street, what I will do is, I'll be monitoring them. Anybody whom I see, you dump anything here, because I know everybody who lives here. I personally will take you to the BCC.
Elsewhere in Tobacco Road, members of the Gambia Transport Union turned out in numbers for the exercise. The president of the Transport Union, Omar Sise, called on Banjulians to collectively work together for the development of the country.
Let's come together to see how to develop country. Gambia is beyond all of us. Without us, Gambia cannot go.
The day-long exercise, which was described by many as a success, saw participants cleaning major dump sites in the streets of the capital. Authorities, however, urged the people of Banjul to desist from indiscriminate dumping of waste in order to maintain a clean and healthy environment. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Janke Ture.
The Gambia Armed Forces has held a farewell ceremony for visiting members of the Senegalese Military Academy staff who were in the country on a week-long study tour. The trip saw the delegation interact with their host. Olababu Kasengo assesses the significance of the trip and he now reports.
The Senegalese Military Academy staff ended their tour of the country with this send-off event organized by their host. It is the first time the two sister armed forces are engaged in such an important contact, after more than 2 decades of non-existent relations, characterized by mutual suspicion.